Well,
Hi, everybody. Thanks for showing up if you did.
we have to wait for a couple of minutes. Somebody.
What?
We came a little bit earlier because it's our first live. So we hope everything goes good. If everything will be good, we might have
Where are
another
we?
one.
We're on. I can see us here.
So looks like we already have somebody watching. So
Welcome to the first live web stream for our Unspoiled Italy. This could be the last one too. We'll see how it goes. And we hope some of you are still up this late. I know it's pretty late, but it's been kind of a busy day today. We're actually not home in Santa Cruz. We're not in Italy either. We are in Livermore, which is a little bit northeast of San Francisco, inland. And we're here to shoot some music videos tomorrow. So we came a day early to get prepared, and tomorrow we'll be shooting all day. So we thought, okay, we got an hour or two to spare here, so let's get this show on the road. So we have a few things to talk about. We really never done anything live. We've never spent a lot of time explaining what we do. We just kind of do it. In fact, we really never thought about what we're doing. A lot of this channel has just evolved organically. It was initially the idea to shoot our videos about Italy was my daughter's idea. She shot a lot of videos when she came and visited us from Paris and posted them, and they got a lot of views, and people seemed to like them. And in fact, a few times when we were in Scalea, we had people come up and say, we moved here after watching your videos. So she did that for a while, but then she got involved with her life in Paris and didn't have time to really spend doing these. And because we were spending time in Scalea, we started putting our own videos. Arena had shot a lot of video on all our travels, and we decided, let's put them up, see if anybody watches them. And lo and behold, people actually watched them. And we thought, well, this is good. And this happened 7 years ago when we first bought our apartment in Scalea. And when we did that, we hadn't planned on spending a lot of time in Italy. We thought, we're buying a summer rental. We're buying a place for us to come to maybe a couple of weeks a year, or every other year. We really didn't have a solid plan. After about the second trip, we made a longer stay that time. Normally, the first trip, I think we came 2 weeks. And then after that, we decided, let's try a month. And we decided we liked a month. And the next time we tried 2 months. We decided, well, wait, this could be a regular thing. I think, we could live here. We liked the lifestyle. So we started doing that. And that's when we really began our channel in earnest. Like I say, Arena has shot videos when we visit different sites. We go to Tropea, or we go to Naples, or Matera, or one of the other towns, and she'd put up her videos. And then we thought, well, let's do some about our lifestyle there. And soon we started traveling with our dog Emma. And I thought, people might need to know some of the same information I've had to learn. So I started putting up my informational videos, which we've done a few of, and they seem to be pretty popular too. So we just kind of got more and more into it. It had started out as just kind of something to do when we were there, not a real plan. And then at some point we thought, well, let's make this a regular thing. We can try to develop our subscriber um, base, and hopefully reach more people. And it seemed over the last couple years, we've noticed there's a big increase in people interested in southern Italy, Calabria, Scalea, and
By the way, Scalea is in Calabria, between Naples and Sicily, and all our channel is around that area. So we visit all the places on the coast. It's right on the coast, and we visited all the villages, all the towns on the coast, and we have lots of videos on our channel about different towns.
yeah, and like I said, a lot of our videos too have started showing lifestyle, what it's like to live in Italy for longer periods of time. How do we fit in the culture? How do we fit in day to day? For me, this whole adventure of having an apartment in Italy was about wanting to feel like I was part of the community, like I lived there. I didn't want to live on top of the community. So I saw a video a few years back where the guy explained it, I thought, really well. He said there are two ways people come to Italy. One is they visit and they live on top of it, and the other is where they become part of Italy and they live in it. And so my goal has always been to live in it. It's more about the day-to-day lifestyle, which is dramatically different than our lifestyle in California. And we've tried to show some of that. And, hopefully it helps people to see that, you have to look at it a little bit differently than being a tourist. Calabria, in Italy in general, the people are wonderful.
Yeah, so different than the rest of the Italy.
Yeah, in Calabria, I think the people are more welcoming, and they make you part of the community if you're willing to put yourself out there. And hopefully we have, and we've been decent neighbors. So we've been there 7 years, doing this 7 years, and this year our channel finally got enough watch hours from viewers that we were monetized. So again, this is not something we planned on. We really didn't think that wasn't a goal, but we thought, well, what the heck, if we're getting this close, we might as well go for it and spend some more time building the channel. So that kind of brings us up to right now as to why we're not in Italy presently. And this year has been...
It's temporarily. We actually going back. We actually will be back, and we will do the videos from Italy. But we hope you like our California, because we are, while we have time, we're making all kind of videos also from here.
Yeah, we think we live in a pretty wonderful place here in California too. And well, it's not Italy. If we can't be there, we feel like, okay, let's share where we live for now. Not only does it share some of the places that we have around us, but also just keeps our skill up. We need to practice doing this. We're not gonna, we're not professionals, so we have to keep doing it. Otherwise, we're gonna lose all our skills pretty quickly.
Actually, YouTube, it's pretty much like a job, because it's very time consuming, and we have to have ideas, we have to go different places, we have to shoot videos, we have to edit, we have to think what to do with it. So it is a really difficult process, So I didn't realize that it takes that much time and that much effort.
One thing that people don't realize is, well, what happens is we get a lot of comments like that people think we're in Italy when we're posting, and sometimes we're not. Because what happens is when we are actually in Italy, we're traveling, we're shooting, Arena's amassing a lot of footage, and we're also trying to have a life. So when we come back, she's got this backlog of footage that she's planned episodes with, and we do those usually from California. Like I say, when we're in Italy, we're really, really going all the time. So there's not a lot of time to do a lot of our videos. Some of them get done pretty quickly. We have some things we feel like we want to get out, but all the time we're amassing footage. We come home, and then while we're back in California, Irina's putting together these different episodes, and we don't, mean to intentionally mislead people that we're actually there all the time. It's just that's the way we do it. It's really hard to do that when you're there, don't you think?
Yes, maybe. Well, I post from there and I post from here, and we try. Actually, we post every 5 days. We post a new video about every 5 days. So by now we have what, 200, way over 200 videos. 246 videos.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things to see.
And even though we've had our place in Scalea for 7 years now, we haven't been doing the channel that long. How long? 2 years tops?
Yeah, we just
And in the beginning, it
waited 2
wasn't
years.
a full-time thing. We weren't posting regularly like we've gotten into the habit of doing now. So yeah, a lot of work's been in the last year or so. We've really gotten more organized as to what topics we're going to cover. Sometimes before we go over, we kind of make a plan of places we want to visit, and kind of do some homework and find if there are places we haven't been to that we'd like to be. And like I say, it's a job. And there she is. This is Emma.
This is a part of our family, definitely part of our
Let's see.
family. And the cups. See,
Emma
that's
has her own cups,
She has her own cups.
which you can order online in our shop. But Emma's been going for about 5 years now. She's been traveling with us to Italy.
She's been to 5 countries, but her favorite is Italy, definitely, because in Italy they let her practically everywhere. She even went to few times to the movie theater.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And of course, restaurants all happy to see her, and they have like special things. Oh, it's just the story how when we just come and they cook for her.
Yeah, we've gone to a number of restaurants where we walk in and sit down, and they immediately are, is the puppy comfortable? Can we get her a cushion? Maybe some water? How about a breadstick? And I'm thinking, well, I'd like a breadstick. But she gets pretty good service. And she has her best friends. She has a lot of friends in Scalea. She knows a lot of the restaurant people, and they're good friends, and they always happy to see her, and she's happy to see them. She knows where they are too. If we go downtown, she'll immediately head to one of her favorite restaurants, see if they're open. So it's been something to travel with her. That's part of the journey that we've been experiencing, is not only traveling with ourselves, but traveling with a dog. Sometimes it's a little challenging, but we're lucky with Emma. She's been a trooper. She figured out what the carrier was all about. She figured out if it came out, that means we were going on a trip, and she was ready to go. And she does well on the plane. She just basically goes under the seat, falls asleep, and wakes up when we land. So we've been really lucky about that. And she travels the trains.
She's good on the plane, on the train, and in this 5 countries we've been in the blizzard, and we've been in the summer hot heat, and she's really good with everything. So we're lucky.
So we were starting to talk a little bit ago about why we're not in Italy. Well, this year been an interesting year. Normally, I have a schedule with my work where I have a couple of TV shows that I do the audio mixing for, and I can do it from our place in Italy. I have a season that I work, which is usually about 4 or 5 months, and that during that time I'm free to, do the work from our apartment in Scalea. So hopefully that's coming up again. Usually it's towards the end of the year. And I used to have one other show that I did in the spring, and this year that didn't happen, but I got a lot of new clients. My business has expanded. This is the reason we're in Livermore tonight. Is, like I said, we're going to be shooting some music videos tomorrow, and that's kept us here. A lot of the work I'm doing this year, I have to be here. I haven't got enough of it that I can do remotely to make it possible for us to travel this year, which is a bummer. I mean, I'm used to the fact that 2 or 3 times a year we're able to get over there. The other thing is just this year has been crazy with ticket prices. I don't know how many of anybody who's traveled seen what the ticket prices are like, and I know when we started out we were getting prices like $500, $600 each for round trip, and so we spend $1,000.
We have some questions.
Yeah, we'll get to the questions in a sec. $500 to $1,000 is what we were doing for a number of years, and this year has been ridiculous.
Ridiculously, yeah. I just couldn't even imagine.
Part of
like that.
Part of the charm, or part of the attraction for us was we had fairly cheap tickets. Once we got to Italy, it didn't really cost us much more than traveling on the train and maybe a few little side trips because, we have the apartment. Now, when tickets are eating up most of your budget, you have to think twice. And so between those two things, we've kind of haven't done what we want to do. Main thing, like I said, is I can't, just because business has been crazy this year, which I'm grateful for, but I wish a little more of it was possible to do remotely. And hopefully that's part of the business that I'm building right now should allow me to do that, hopefully by next year, a lot more. We're planning on spending longer periods over there.
But we're soon. We have no questions.
We have a lot of questions here.
Yeah. I can't believe, thank you very much that you came to meet us. We're so excited.
I'll answer this first question. Yeah. Do you give her any meds to calm down? The first time we were Emma, yeah, not Irina. I take the meds. She doesn't. The first time we were going to travel with Emma, our vet gave us a couple of different things to try, and she said, try them before you leave. Well, both of them made her so jumpy and so animated. I said, I don't think that's going to work. And like I say, she took to the routine of traveling so quick. She will just fall asleep, basically hibernate, which is amazing, because the first time we noticed it, I thought she had died personally, because I was poking her in her carrier and she wasn't moving. And I realized she just goes into a deep, deep sleep, and she knows when the plane hits and we land, time to wake up and get going. So Yeah, she takes nothing, and I'm glad she doesn't have to. I wouldn't want to give her too much. The other question is, do any of you speak Italian?
Yes, I do. I speak Italian because as soon as we got the place in Italy, I started learning seriously. And every single day I learn, I read, I listen something, I watch videos, and the only hard part is to talk. You always have to find somebody because language is very important. The language is very important to practice all the time. So lately I discovered GPT, and it's my best friend. That's how I practice my Italian. We talk about all kind of questions, like subjects, and it's much easier to talk with a computer. So I'm not nervous then. But when we go back to Italy, it's I need to speak always. It's always something to do because when you're tourist, it's one thing. When you leave there, it's completely different life. You have to actually order things. You have to fix things. You have to find workers for something. You have to go to the hospital. Sometimes we actually have a video about going to the emergency room. So if you're interested how Italian emergency room works, there is a video on our channel about that. And that's also for that also very good to know some Italian.
Yeah, I think I can. I understand quite a bit, and I speak enough to get by. Um, and it's funny because I don't practice when I'm here in the States, and I forget everything, and it usually takes me a week or so before I start feeling comfortable. Um, you know, try to deal with things in Italian. And one of the attractions to me for Scalea and that part of Italy, southern Italy, is it's very Italian. It's not. It's tourism is not aimed at English speakers. The tourists, majority of tourists coming there are Italian, um, and so people are doing a really good job there. Shop owners and restaurant people of there. I know a couple of them who, when we first went there, knew zero English, and now are pretty darn good at with being able to speak English. But I think it's only a common courtesy if you're going to come there, and especially if you're going to plan to spend long periods of time, is to learn as much Italian as you can. It's You're in a foreign country, and I've seen people get frustrated because they can't find somebody who understands English, and it's tough. It's their country. It's it's the same as when people come here and we expect them to speak English. Um, and a lot of foreigners coming and visiting the States do speak English. Americans tend to not be good at foreign languages or learning foreign languages. But if you want to spend time in a foreign country, I think it's only right that you learn to fit in with the language. You can, Rena found a tutor, she found classes, she's found online classes, she's found a lot of resources where she can learn, and now she talks to her AI friend. But and I should do better. I'm terrible, but I can get food, I can get beer, I can find out different small problems. So anyway, that's my rant about language, and that's, to me, that's the big attraction for the South. Is it's so Italian still. I feel when we first visited Italy, we went Rome and all the northern places, Venice, Florence, and you could always find somebody who spoke English. A lot of the people who you were dealing with weren't Italians. a lot of the workers in a lot of the tourist areas were Eastern Europeans. It was easier for Irina to talk Russian with them. They weren't speaking Italian. So getting to down south where it was real Italian and it felt totally different, and I love it. Um, I love that the culture, and I love what it's not being diluted with a lot of um, trying to trying to cater to foreign tourists. I'd rather we came there and tried to fit in ourselves, and it's difficult, but I've never felt lonely there. I've been to other countries where I did feel isolated, but I've never felt isolated in Italy, even if
Yeah.
when I didn't speak
True.
much more than ciao. And
Where
so
our name came from, the name of the channel. Oh,
yeah, yes, I've learned how to order a beer and an aperol and a spritz.
oh yes, it's a big thing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, aperitivo, that's another thing that is like so Italian. And we have a video on our channel which explains everything. What's that about? It's a wonderful thing.
It's the best tradition
Best-
ever.
Yeah.
Next to the siesta, it's the best tradition. It's, I don't know, it's funny. The first time we ran into it, I think it was in Rome. And interestingly, the year before we had come to Italy, I think for the first time, we had gone to Portugal. And in Portugal, if they bring something with your like if you have a drink and they bring you something, or if you have dinner and they bring you something and you touch it, you're charged extra for it. Whether it's bread or an appetizer or any little things.
And they always bring something.
Yeah.
They always bring something, so tourists don't know, and that's how they have extra things.
Yeah, and so when we
the restaurant would.
got to Italy and we went out for drinks and this bunch of food showed up, we looked at each other and we were like, do we touch this? Are we going to pay for this? Is this extra?
I mean, we didn't order anything like
Yeah.
that, and it just came out all this like huge thing.
I remember in
It's like,
Trastevere we went
amazing.
and they had that big spread.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, do I have enough cash for all this? And when I went up to pay, they only charged us for the 2 drinks. I was like, this is something. So we did a little research and realized that aperitivo could be was a good thing. And one of the things we like to do is just when we get to a town, try different bars and aperitivo time and see what they have. I mean, there's a couple of places that have pretty amazing spreads.
And locals specifically go for aperitivo. So restaurants before the dinner, they would all say that aperitivo time, and everybody just come for that with friends, just drink, spend like a couple hours, 2, 3, something, sitting, talking, instead of dinner. So it's wonderful tradition. I like it.
Yep. I look forward to it when I'm there every day. It's kind of horrifying to try to go out for something resembling an aperitivo here in the States. Yesterday we spent $28 for 2 margaritas. At least it came with chips and salsa. But
It came because we had the dinner after that. Otherwise, they wouldn't even.
So it's a big shock coming back here and trying to live the same kind of lifestyle we do in Italy. Though we try. We have the interesting thing that's happened is when we've been in Scalea, we're right from the beginning. When we went to our first realtor to buy our first apartment, we met a gentleman who had just returned from the States, and he came back. He had been living in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and he said, "Oh, you're from that area too." He says, "I have all kinds of friends who own restaurants there." and he wrote a nice list of restaurants. And he said, this one's my godson, this one's my so-and-so, my so-and-so, and you should visit them. So we said, okay, we started. And San Francisco Bay Area has a huge concentration of expat calabresi who own restaurants. They're doing very well. They have some of the best restaurants. And we've started visiting, a few of them, and we've become pretty good friends with the owners. And to show you how the Italian culture works, we met, let's say, their father or their uncle in Scalea, and then when we came back here, we would go visit the restaurant, send pictures back, and the next thing you know, they're treating you like a member of the family. You like my son likes you, you're as good as family. And so we have some really good friends, from extended family from Italy to the Bay Area. And if you are near San Francisco Bay Area, I think we have a whole series of restaurants that we visited that are worth looking into. There's a couple that we visit quite regularly. One of the restaurants actually is very active back in Scalea. They sponsor a bike race every year, and they bring over delegations of Americans to bike, because they're very big into doing bike riding. Terun, yeah.
Terun.
They have their own bike racing team and their own restaurant, which is really.
Oh, they actually have two restaurants now. One across the.
Yeah, two.
Yeah, two at the same town, the same area.
So we spent a lot of time visiting them. We go up a little further up the peninsula to Redwood City or San Carlos. One of those places.
Yeah, I think.
Redwood City. No, it's past Redwood City, San Carlos, and we go to Delizie, which is the Ruggiero.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Very
Family.
good restaurant.
Oh yeah, that was the first restaurant we went to when we came back after our first trip.
Before we went,
we came back. We said, okay, we have to go visit one of these restaurants on this list we have. We went to Delizie, and we walked in, and what was on the wall?
On the wall there was our famous stairs from Scalea. So I was so surprised that Scalea, it's a small town, and just all of a sudden, out of all Italy, we just see just our stairs. So we talked to the owner, and he said, oh, my father will come. So he was visiting it. Father came right away from home just to talk to us. And then when we went to Scalea, we met him again, already there. So it's just interesting.
So we feel connected whether we're there or here in the States, which is good, because I hate feeling too distant from
San Francisco.
From our people.
We also have in San Francisco.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah.
So I think, do we have a playlist for restaurants?
Yeah, we have I think it's in our Californian connection, Italian.
That's a lot of that, yeah.
Italian connection with California.
So we do have a playlist where you can find the restaurants that we visited and see some of the food that they make.
Yeah, so we always show what we eat. We always explain what it is, and we actually love eating food. We are foodies, so we like to eat, and we like to show it. And and our daughter is here, Anastasiya. So by the way, Anastasiya has her wonderful vlog about her life in France, in Paris, and I will leave the link in the description. It's just such a great channel, so I definitely recommend it.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
and
Nick,
Nick, there is Nick also. So we have kind of international here,
family.
not
And we have an international audience.
So we have
I guess it's
from
cold in Paris right
Germany.
now. Well, it was about 26 degrees here this afternoon.
Well, see,
And it rained at our house though. So we get all the weather here.
So Livermore is south, right?
North.
So it's north?
North and east.
Huh. Because
in the desert.
Because it's in the desert. Oh, here we came and it was just so wonderful. All of a sudden, still summer. So it was nice to have a nice weather.
Another thing is about having a good Italian connection or connection with Italy is you start running into people who are from the area. Like even in our town of Santa Cruz, which we thought there weren't very many Italians, we found a whole community, and a good portion of them are from Calabria.
Imagine our tiny little town of Scalea, and next to it, even smaller town of Fuscaldo, and we have two people in our town who have restaurants exactly from that Fuscaldo. They were so surprised that we live in Scalea because it's two small towns that you usually don't meet that many people.
Right.
So it was amazing that we could with the questions. Oh, thank you so much that you support us. We're so glad that there are people who came and listen to us.
Oh, Anastasiya just said, even in Paris, there's an Italian store near us, and the owner is from Calabria.
Oh, wow.
So
The Calabrians are famous for opening restaurants. It's just something like of course, that's such a great food there. That area is like so great about food. So maybe that's why they learn to cook from the early age, and then they all want to open their restaurant, and it's always very popular here.
They have the best restaurants. We just found out. Actually, we were at a wedding Saturday, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, "Oh, I have 3 friends who owned a restaurant in Santa Cruz, and he's named Starbene. We used to go there a long time ago. It was there years ago. We went there all the time because it was the best Italian food in Santa Cruz, I thought." And he said, "Yeah, they're all from Calabria." Wow. I mean, back then it would have never even occurred to us where somebody was from.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started naming them, and it turns out one of them owns another restaurant that Arena spends a lot of time visiting, talking to them. And so it's a very small community.
So of course we ate at every single Italian restaurant in our town. Not just, we don't go even some other places. We find everything in our town also, where to go. We try all the food. We practically know every person.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just always fun to have some kind of connection.
So Anastasiya just arrived a few minutes ago, so she didn't hear us talk about how we started, and we gave you all the credit for getting the ball rolling with the vlogs. Hers was a travel vlog, and started out with some Italian videos, and then, like we said, she moved up to Paris, and that's her vlog is about her life in Paris, which is just as interesting. So again, it's going to be in the description. I suggest you look at it. It's they're good.
Definitely.
I want her life. I like my life, but I want hers. And yeah, so it's Front Street Bene. Star Bene was on East Cliff. Yeah, East Cliff.
It's near Swan Lake.
Yeah, it was. Now an Argentinian restaurant.
Yeah, it's something else now. Mm-hmm.
But so what else? We talked about. So what's in the future? Well,
Our
yeah,
cups again.
mass merchandising, selling you stuff.
And this
And
is
how can
our
you resist?
Emma.
Yeah, how can you resist? I know, I
See.
love my cup. Um, but we're gonna try to make the channel a little more professional. We're gearing up, like we say, to go back to Italy, and we've got some plans for, more traveling. We spent a lot of time honing and developing our video skills.
Mhm.
It's an interesting thing that other than shooting for the vlogs, we didn't do. I mean, my company does video work, but my daughter Anastasiya was the director of photography. I produced a lot of the videos, and we all worked together. But Anastasiya actually did the shooting. She's got the eye, and so we didn't really do much of that. And when she left, I kind of let that part of my business go because it was too much work to organize it. I could have done it, but I just didn't feel like it, putting that much effort into it. And then this year, somebody asked, "Can you shoot a music video for us?" And I thought, well, we'll give it a try. So we started working on that, and they came out well. We shot more. We've gotten some corporate work, and we're doing pretty good. And so we've spent some time actually learning how to use our equipment.
Hello, Emma.
And we hope to be adding some of that production value into our upcoming videos. When we started this, the videos were just beauty videos, beauty shots. It was okay, we're going to Tropea, and it was 5 minutes of beautiful footage of Tropea, and that was pretty much the extent of our involvement. And then when I decided to try an informational video, the first one was about getting to Italy during the pandemic. It's the first time we've ever tried being on camera. I don't think either of us have ever felt like that was our calling. I never wanted
It's so hard. It's actually hard. It's a skill which you have to learn like any other skill.
And it was difficult.
Mhm.
The only reason I said I did it was because I had this information that I felt I wanted to share, and the only way to share it was to get on camera and talk. And then I realized, well, I can kind of put two words together and make a few sentences. So we started adding a little more of ourselves into the video, which we plan to do more of. I'll give us credit. We've gotten more comfortable in front of the camera. I can't believe I've been talking for 43 minutes now.
Yeah, I know.
We thought
I
5
want
minutes was about as much as we were going to be able to handle, but we're getting better at it, and we're getting better at hopefully giving information that adds to the visuals, of the places we visit. And
of course, it's always important to have your questions. If you give us a question or idea, that's how we know what to talk about.
I've done a number of videos, informational videos, based on questions that people have put in the comments, and I'll say, that's a great idea for a video. And instead of just, I'll answer the question, but I know I can give so much information, so why not just give it once, and then people can watch it anytime they want. So yeah.
Like the video about buying tickets on the train website, Italian. It's a very confusing thing. So it's we had so many thanks about that video. It's very helpful to know how to order the tickets, how to buy tickets, how in general decode this website, Italian.
From what I can tell, I don't think Anastasia's ever seen us talk this much. She said, just sit here. She can't believe we're doing.
Well, we have to talk because this is a live chat, a live stream. So that's why I'm saying that's exactly what the skills is the most important thing. You have to start, and then hopefully next time it would be better.
Yeah. Usually it goes in the good direction. I think we found that.
Well, we just, main thing we wanted to tell you that we will be back in Italy. We will definitely do more videos about Italy. It's all about culture, about our travels, about food, of course, because we love food. We always show our restaurants, our foods, and new places. And but now it's in California. We still hope that you would like our videos here. And if you didn't come from the beginning, we're now in Livermore.
Yes.
Livermore,
California. Not
And
Liverpool, Livermore.
And today we shot another episode. So after today, we have to edit and think, and it would be also the video about Livermore.
Right.
So every time we go somewhere, we take that opportunity to share it with you.
And again, like I mentioned earlier, if you have questions about living in Italy, getting to Italy, surviving in Italy, how do we do anything? I like hearing those comments. They inspire me to do episodes, instructional or informational episodes.
So many questions now.
Yeah. So I like to get those too. It kind of, I think, gives a little more depth to our channel. Is, you can see the beauty, you can see what places are like, and also hopefully get some of the information that we have come across from our own experience. You want to check what else is, look here. Nicholas, I like your thinking. He said we should do a video about his favorite restaurant, which we have, but we've never talked about their tasty wine. So my favorite wine in Italy comes from La Rondinella's farm. They have in Scalea, Rondinella has a farm with a restaurant, and they also have the restaurant in town. But they have the best wine. I'm not a big wine drinker. I don't know anything about wine. And in fact, for a long time when we were there, I stuck to beer until we went to Rondinella, and I thought, this is the best. I love this wine. I love drinking it. And turns out it's homemade. We met Papa, who makes the wine, and he's been doing it for years. And whenever I've shared it with other people who, for the first time, they tend to agree that that's some of the best wine they've had. And we'll have to do some more about that. We haven't really done anything where we talked to them. They're fascinating people, the whole family.
But in general, that culture of the, how they call it, where they have farm, how they call it? Agriturismo. It's the whole culture that they have their own farm. The family would own the place, and then they would have the restaurant, and then sometimes they have also the little resort, and it's their food straight from their farm, all the family oriented, and it's just usually amazing. Those are the best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's so much. almost every restaurant, they're very close to the source of their food. Whether it's, the truffles, the mushrooms, um, produce, fish from the sea. Um, you're not. It's not coming frozen from Japan. It's coming from right off the shore there. You probably go down and watch it come in the morning. Um, let's see, anybody else? So yeah, so hopefully we'll be getting back to our normal schedule. Um, I've still managed to do a few of my informational videos as questions have come up on online. Also, if you haven't already, if you don't know, we have a Facebook page, Our Unspoiled Italy. It's on Facebook, and you can reach us there. We try to get back to people. Sometimes it's a lot of work, and sometimes I just have other work that I need to deal with, so I don't get to things as quickly as I'd like to. Though I try. We're doing better. Um, we appreciate our viewers. Anybody who takes time to watch our videos, we're really
Thank you so
thankful
much.
for.
Like, thanks to you, all our channel, because if we wouldn't have any viewers, if we wouldn't have any followers, we probably wouldn't need to do anything to show anything. All the channel, it's because we wanted to share with you, and because you.
And the feedback has inspired us to continue. Like I think Irina just said, we were putting them up there, and at first they weren't meaning as much. They were just there. They were more ways to remember our trips for ourselves, as much as hopefully hoping that people would watch it. But now that we've found people actually watch over and over again, and watch them all, we feel more of a responsibility to keep it up, and we like doing that. It's been a fun thing for all of us, when we're together, and then when Anastasiya comes down to Italy, and her and Irina do a lot of shooting together, and a lot of traveling. I'm not the big traveler. I like to stay home, go to the bar.
Oh, I love traveling, and I love Italian trains, and because we don't have the car there, we try to walk everywhere. That's why we try to figure out how to take the train to every town, every place. Or now if it's a little bit in the hill, we now discovered some buses, and the buses, it's a little bit different travel, but that way we can see so much. We can visit new places and see new towns, and of course do more videos.
Oh, and we'd like to send a shout out to Rose Mabry, who's watching. Hi.
And
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. And if you, if we have new people who discovered us first time, please subscribe to our channel. It would mean a lot to us, and we hope we would do more videos, and we hope you would like it. And eventually we are going back to Italy. It's just temporarily.
Yeah. And one of the things we'd I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, when we're there, we will probably try to do some live things from Scalia.
Definitely.
So, now that we found out that these actually work,
Mhm.
I think it's a good idea. I've always wanted to kind of share in real time what life is like, especially because when we go out, we run into so many people. I mean, you can have zero plans when you leave the house, and within a couple of hours of going for a coffee or going for a spritz, you have a whole night planned. You meet up with friends, you go to another bar, you end up going to dinner, maybe you go hear some music later. Um, it's really interesting, and it's hard to shoot a video. It's one thing to shoot a video about it, but it's harder to kind of understand it unless you see it in real time. And I think we do this.
Mhm.
I think we give that a try.
And about friends, we were amazed that we made friends uh, like 2 weeks after we came there.
2 days.
2 days after we already had friends.
Our oldest friend, we met the second and third day.
Yeah, here you can live forever. I don't know
Who's next door.
next door. And there, we just practically everybody knew that we were new in town, and they would stop and talk and try to help us with everything. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so it's a wonderful experience. Hopefully it comes across in some of our videos, and I think we'll try to get a little more of that in coming up.
Thank you very much for all your support, for coming to meet us. And of course, if you have more questions for the next live, we would like to hear what you want to see, what you want to know, and that's how we would know what to shoot on our videos and what to talk about.
Well, everybody's leaving. Everybody's going to bed. I think we should too.
Yeah, because it's so late.
Well, thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again soon, hopefully in Italy. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.
And we'll figure out how to turn this thing off.
I know. Just like that.